So like I've gotten to the point where I'm old enough now that if I'm home with my kids by myself, I won't like use a ladder. I won't go in the attic by myself because I know I'm to the age.
You bubble wrap yourself?
No, well, I'm to the age now where I know my knee could just give out at any time or something like that. And my kids will be like, I'll be in the garage, like fighting for my life. And my kids will just be in the house by themselves.
Is this a fear that you're just scared your knee's going to buckle while you're walking?
No, it's not while I'm walking. It's like
climbing a ladder.
Yeah, I'm like I might just, I don't know, man. Like I'm just at that point now where my body might just fail me, and then my kids are just walking around my house.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeez.
God forbid I fall out the attic because my knee gave out and I dead in the garage, and my kids are just strolling around the house.
Yeah.
This is for all the haters. We're back. This intro's lame, but it is what it is.
That's right.
Welcome to the Who F'n Kneauxs podcast.
AKA that poverty pod.
That poverty pod. Oh boy, what a week we had.
A week? It's not really a week.
A day?
It's been 2 days.
2 days? Man.
Steamrolling into the weekend, baby.
I'm feeling great. I don't know about you.
I'm good. I'm
I tell you what, I was kind of, just reaching one of those points. I'm sure it happens to both of you as well, where you just get kind of burnt out on everything, right?
Yeah.
Where like you don't really feel like doing anything. Kind of revitalized me a little bit.
Good.
To be honest,
That's what I'm here for.
I've always wanted to be hated by the internet. It has definitely lived up to the hype.
Oh,
I told Patty earlier, I've always wanted to be a heel. It's been fun.
Yeah, I was getting text messages randomly all day. What did you do?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything. I just interviewed somebody.
I guess we should address it
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah. So do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can say what happened. I'll get my stuff off. Don't you worry.
I just interviewed an agent, an NIL agent who Tulane fans don't like, and that's fair. I mean, pop off.
Pop off. Not Kings.
Yeah. But I mean, people got mad about it. I'm like, he was public enemy number one, to be fair. Mm-hmm. And I had asked him to come on the podcast. I want to clear the air here, actually. I had reached out to him about a week ago to come on after the Mensa stuff had kind of died down. Like everything was cool. And I was like, all right, like, feel like it's been enough time. I'll get him to come on and we'll get his perspective on what happened in that situation, which we went into that, but we didn't go super deep into that because I wanted to just know who he was as a person. Anyways, then the day we were supposed to connect and he was supposed to come like talk to me, something came up. He's like, yo, can we do tonight? I was like, nah, I'm busy. Like, let's connect during the week. He's like, all right, cool. Well, like the next day or that night, everything blew up on Twitter between him and Tulane fans, where he like tweeted that he was going to send players to another school, and like it was ugly. Yeah. And then he reached out to me the next day and he was like, hey, I'll still come on. And I was like, cool, let's do it. So, he was public enemy number one, and by proxy, I became public enemy number two, I guess.
Darth Vader.
And then by proxy, I became public enemy number two. Yeah, number 2A, 2B, whatever.
2B, yeah.
And you don't know it, but I guess you're public enemy number three. Somehow you've skated all of
I was
this.
I was like the chaperone, just watching the two kids get into a fight with like all the other kids, and then be like, it's okay, they're just.
Yeah. And to be clear, for anybody that just listens to this podcast, because I know there's actually a lot of you that only know us from here, we also do like other like Tulane podcasts, Saints podcasts. This is the only one that matters. Love you. But yeah. You can watch them all though.
I want to get my stuff off, but I kind of want your perspective of it as somebody who doesn't really care about Tulane football, isn't a Tulane fan. From an outsider's perspective, what is your thoughts on how that all played out?
I don't know. And like, being a Oklahoma fan, it's Oklahoma lost a lot of transfers this year, lost a lot of the, so I got it from Oklahoma. A lot of fans want to get rid of the coach. And it's just, at the end of the day, we talked about NIL and just, just the whole scheme of college football in general. And it's just like, it is what it is. People are going to transfer. People are going to go. People are going to have agents. People are going to do what they want to do. Ultimately, it's new to everybody. We talked about it, how there's got to be structure. I'm sure there will be structure at some point. But it was more just so, from my perspective as an outsider, just kind of getting the grasp of NIL in general. And I don't know. The guy left there's really nothing that you can do about it now. So does it really hurt? You can just not listen and go about your day, and it's going to be exactly the same. Tulane's still going to be Tulane. They're going to get people in there to make the program good, and it's just, I don't know. Some people, I mean, we've all been sports fans our entire lives at different sports teams, and it's like it's passionate and we love the teams, but there's a certain point where it's like, all right, when it's affecting
Chill.
that mental, your mental that bad, it's like, let's relax a little bit. And remember that we're getting worked up over kids that are between like 18 years old and 22 years old. And then it's like,
Yes.
it's like, come on, you're really letting these basically still teenagers affect your life to that point where you're threatening people online and just getting so hurt over it. And it's just like,
Comparing them to mass murderers.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
doing?
Listen, there's a line that I understand why people would be upset.
Mhm.
To an extent. There's a line that we don't need to cross that it's just like it's not worth being that upset over. Like you said, it's just football at the end of the day. Now, understand some of you people have decided to make this your entire life.
You people. Sorry.
You people. Yeah, and before I start, these are my thoughts, and I'm speaking for myself. I don't want, obviously not speaking for Aaron. Patty will speak for himself. He's right here. I don't speak for anybody as that's a part of the know. This is me.
Sure.
Okay. The first thing I want to clear up is we didn't pay anybody to come on the pod.
I would never pay
All right.
somebody to come on.
Yeah, we're not paying anybody to come on the pod. First off, we can't make money from it.
Yeah.
Like that's not something I really care about hiding from. We don't make money from anything we put out. Also, the Tulane fan base would have to be much more significant, some would say,
Wow.
to have enough support to help us monetize a video and give us the views we need for that.
He said the fan base ain't big enough for us to be trying to.
That's what I'm
clout chase
saying here.
is what
Yeah,
he's saying.
that's what I'm saying. Listen,
Which, listen, we're Tulane fans. I want to clear that up because that's
No.
something you guys are going to attack. I'm always going to be a Tulane
I'm
fan.
just
It's
kidding.
okay.
but have you been a fan for 50 years?
No.
I'm not- if I was old enough to be a fan for 50 years, probably. No, like we're Tulane fans. So if you want to attack what he just said, fine, you can attack it. I'll let you continue, but just want to clear that up.
No, it's just I was fine with people not being okay with it.
I was too.
I really was.
Because clearly we don't do this for y'all.
Yeah.
just do it to have fun.
It
man.
reached a point where I'm like, all right, enough was enough.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, Patty told me to let it go and just let people talk. But it got to a point where I was like, nah, we're responding. Because it was ridiculous. Like once I feel like you start kind of coming after us, I'm a fire back. I don't, I'm not as I like to joke that Patty's the good guy of the two of us. And I will take the low hanging fruit. Yeah, man. I just
And it's also it's like you said, people deserve to be mad and be upset,
Sure.
and that's fine. But it's just like, I mean, we're just trying to get more information. We're not like
Sure.
siding with anybody. We're not like saying this is how it needs to be. This is how it should be. It's more just, hey, let's talk to the guy,
Yeah.
get the background, see what it's about, see what he does. And that's really all it was. And people took it like
exactly.
we're siding with the dark side or something
Yeah, so-
like that. And
To make myself perfectly clear, and I said this on Twitter as well, I talk about being a Christian all the time on this podcast, and I don't mean to always take it there, but like, it ain't my job to judge that guy. I just
No.
wanted to understand. And if anybody out there has a problem with that, I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I just want to know what makes people tick. I want to give them a fair shake. I want to speak to them
You
on a
found out
personal
what
level.
made people tick.
Yeah, well, we did. We did. We did.
No.
There's almost some booms in there too. I don't know.
I said, and I think, this is the perfect way to put it. We never once said whether we agree with him
Sure.
or not.
Mhm.
We never said, hey, we're putting this out. You should agree with him. We put it out and said, this is how he feels. Watch it and
Yeah.
draw your own opinions from it. Granted, most of you already went into it with your minds made up because you're closed-minded people. And yeah, what was the quote I sent earlier? You can hate us, you can love us, but either way,
You watched us.
You watched us.
You watched us.
And,
Which I
and this
appreciate.
wasn't a clout chasing thing because, again, some people would say the Tulane fan base isn't big enough to give us the clout we need. Some people, not me, I would never say that. Some people.
I think that's a fair point, but that's going to hurt Tulane fans. It hurts me a little bit to think that because I wish our fan base was bigger.
Well, again, I didn't say it. Other people would say that.
Sure. Yeah. Like Dave.
I would
Oh
never.
shit, that's your name.
I would never do that ever.
Babe.
Yeah.
And I do want
Vade.
Joking aside, this is only directed at because there were definitely groups of people. Fifth quarter
Yeah. Fifth
was
quarter,
very
Tulane
supportive.
proud.
There was certain people that came into it were supportive. There were people that went into it, watched it, disagreed with us, but had some open discourse.
That's okay too.
Fine. And I think you'd kind of be surprised that we're probably more on the Tulane fan side than people would think. I'm pretty split. I'm gonna be honest.
I think I think this problem is bigger. So I think Noah Reisenfeld is an easy scapegoat for Tulane fans to hate, right? They just want to pick at something because the best quarterback we've had. I mean, we just had Michael Pratt. So
and to be fair, did he do some things that could piss people off? Of course.
Sure, he's young.
Yeah.
And he was upset about some things that were said to him. I mean, you go as thick a skin as you can have, eventually people keep picking at you, you might respond, and that's what ended up happening, unfortunately. But no, I think he's an easy scapegoat. He's young. He hangs out with rappers because he's with Young Money APA. Now, granted, that organization is much more Anheuser-Busch backed than it is Young Money backed. The Young Money's just the face.
Which
But like,
learn if you watch the video,
you would certainly learn that. But like looking at that from an outsider's perspective, he's easy to hate because he stole your guy, right? But he didn't.
He didn't.
Darian Mensah was going to get paid somewhere anyway, and he wanted to.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Listen, I don't know if I've actually said this on any of our pods or not, or if I've just said it to you in conversations. I think Darian Mensah's mind was made up before the season was over.
Sure.
I think the second he got his chance to shine and realized maybe halfway through the season, like I can play anywhere I want to play now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was gone. I don't think there was anything Tulane could have did about it. Anything Tulane if Tulane offered him however much money maybe Duke was offering, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, and I've said this, and whether this upsets Tulane fans or not, I don't know because they're upset that you said this is Tulane. Let's be real. But the fact is,
we're a small school.
I don't think he really wanted to be here. I think he came here because, as we all know, the only school that wanted him was Tulane. He came here out of necessity. He got his opportunity. Should he have been left with a little bit more grace because Tulane is the only reason that he even had the opportunity to leave in the first place? Sure. But I think the second he realized he could go anywhere he wanted, he was gone.
Yeah.
And you can't fault. We don't know whether Noah reached out to him, whether he reached out to Noah, how that works.
I think the rumor is Noah was introduced to Darian from someone in Tulane, someone on the team or on the staff. But it doesn't matter how they met.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how they met. And it doesn't matter who the agent was.
No.
The fans were going to be mad regardless.
I think that's my point. It didn't matter who the agent was because all the things you're mad about with this particular agent, his comments aside, I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Every other agent's going to do the same thing. You're mad he made 20%. Okay, what do other agents make that are doing NIL? 10 to 20%. Like, it is what it is.
And if like I don't know Noah personally, obviously. So I'm somebody who's going to take his word.
Sure.
For the most part. Maybe I'll take some of it with a little bit of skepticism. But if he says that their agency takes some of the 20%, if this is how I understood it, they take some of the 20%, put it back into the players through training, which I saw some people say that you train at the school. Yeah, not after you leave the school. Maybe you do a little bit, but you can go get better training somewhere else. So if they're putting it back into them through training, financial literacy, like he said, and all these things, maybe 20% is still a little much.
Yeah.
But the game is the game. Like, if it's like you said, if it's not Noah, some other agency is going to come in and say, hey,
for sure,
20%. And if they don't take the 20%, they may not be as good as that agency.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe it balances out eventually, right? Like maybe there's a fantastic agency that comes in all of a sudden. They're like, we got all these connections. We're gonna take 7% from now on, and that's just the number it becomes. Well, guess what? That's the game that's now played, and I think that's what's upsetting a lot of Tulane fans and probably other small school fans is that, oh, the game I love is gone. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You got to adapt.
And it's going to leave you in the dust if you don't. Adapt.
Right. And like Darren Mintz is a kid, but if he's old, if he can go make this kind of money, he's an adult, right? Like he's an adult. He had the ability to say, I'm going to go take an agent that will take less from me. If there is somebody out there that's like, hey, 10%,
Right.
example,
Yeah.
he very easily could have reached out to anybody.
Yeah.
He's got people he's got parents, like he's got people in his life that could say, hey, maybe you should, and maybe they did. Maybe he talked to these people and they were like, yeah, this is a good plan.
Yeah.
So like the kid can make his own decisions. And that's the same with all of these kids. Noah guides them
Mhm.
and negotiates their deals. But at the end of the day, I know what his comments were on Twitter. These kids are making their own decisions,
Mhm.
right? So like you can be mad at the agent all you want, but at the end of the day, the kids make their decisions.
Yeah. It's like when you buy a house, the real estate agent doesn't force you to buy a certain house. You choose what house you're going to buy.
Yeah. Now they may know what you're interested in and say, hey, this house offers this a little
Sure.
bit better than this house. But the game is
Sure.
the game, man. And listen, that ain't gonna be the last time somebody leaves Tulane.
Listen, there was a famous man who used to say 5 time. And he also said, don't hate the player, hate the game. Ice, ice. Dun, dun, dun.
That's life. I could talk about this all night. So we should probably just move on.
Yeah, I don't know what to move on to. This has
And
been
listen, you could say you ended our little podcast all you want. No, you didn't. Because guess what? We coming right back.
Listen.
And we gonna be here. Catch us on the sideline next year. Come say, hey.
We were here with 0 viewers. We were here with 1,000 viewers. We'll be here with 100 viewers. It is what it is. I'm going to be here because I do this for fun. And if you support us, awesome. I love you. And if you don't, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And last thing, everybody, there were some people that were like, why don't y'all have this person on? Why don't you have this person on? Give us the contact. If you got the contact, send it our way. Because there ain't nobody.
I got news for you. We got more people coming too.
Yeah.
So,
There ain't nobody that, I don't want to say nobody, because there are people we would say no to
That's
that
fair.
just don't make sense. But they were saying other agents. We don't have contacts to other agents. Like I don't just have a Rolodex of fucking
Right.
NCAA agents, right? If you're,
that are going to say yes.
Why don't you-
People
yeah.
don't- not everybody says
Yeah.
yes either, guys.
why don't you have Fear the Wave on? You know, like yeah, we'll have anybody. I don't care. Send them
Yeah, it is what it is.
anyway.
You want to come on? Come on. Who are you? You. Come on.
You're watching.
If you listen, if you have interest in us just opening up a phone line for a week,
Yeah,
let
call
us
in.
know because we can do it.
We'll do it.
I won't give you my number though.
You're going to call in and be
Weirdos
like,
will be-
yeah, Spencer fucking Rattler.
Yeah. What you mad about today?
What are you mad about? Anyway,
Oh, man.
Aaron, you got a topic. Go ahead.
Well, I just had
Well,
there's
There's no,
no-
other,
oh, no, no,
there's
no.
no other way to transition. out
yeah,
of that.
I mean, on just a lighter note, I don't know. I always was at the store the other day, of course, as my weekly routine.
love this.
And I just really see this guy struggling and getting really frustrated with his self checkout, not understanding how it's working, doesn't know how to weigh the vegetables, doesn't know. And it just got me thinking, like, do you guys think that you'll ever get to that age where technology catches up to you? There's either 3 options in my mind. Either you get to that age, technology catches up to you, and you're like, I don't know, I'm done, I'm cooked at this point. Or it's you try to be that cool grandpa or whatever, and you're keeping up, and you got the iPhone when you're that age. Or it's just like, you just have it, and you're kind of, you're just like, it is what it is, at that point. I don't know. Do you think technology ever, I mean, you're pretty
well, I mean, for me,
tech savvy guy.
yeah, for me personally, like I think that I will be with the latest tech longer than the average person.
Sure.
But as they say, father time is undefeated, right? Like it's just like your brain's going to slow down at some point. You're not going to be able to keep up with certain things. And there's also probably going to come a point in life where you're just like, I don't give a shit about none of this anymore. But
I think that's part of it too. It's like, do you get to that point where you're like, I'm going to try to be cool, or you're like, you know what? It got me. It won. It is what it is. I'm not going to know the slang. I'm not going to know the phones. I'm not going to know how to work this.
I mean, if you're asking me if I'm ever going to get to a point where I get frustrated with technology, brother, that's already happening.
Yeah.
And Patty makes the joke all the time that I'm the most tech savvy person that has more tech issues. My problem
How do
is
you love tech so much and can't operate it?
Well,
What's
because
going on here?
it's because I get so you do the obvious thing of let me Google a quick answer.
Yeah.
I like to try to just figure it out myself. And if I don't do it right away, I just get frustrated.
Men.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is.
It's got directions. No.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that I can fix this, and I'm gonna. Whether it will be the death of me, but I will fix this.
Oh man, I had to adapt at a young age, man. I used Google for a lot of things. My first real career job, I had a trainer that I would ask questions to, and he would send me a link to Google, and I'd be like, "You fucking." But it taught me to learn how to do shit myself. So
yeah,
good lesson. Yeah, as far as tech goes, I'll probably be the person frustrated when I'm older. If I'm being honest,
It's just stupid shit. I don't know how to scan my vegetables.
Hey,
sweetie.
fucking Shannon, Shannon, come here.
Yeah. Nobody wants to work anymore.
Which is funny because you work in tech, so it just seems like you just be up to date with it. But
yeah, but the tech I work in is more like I'm basically in
Yeah.
sales, account management.
I feel like I'm the equivalent of like my grandpa who, when something breaks around the house, will rig something before he ever looks up how to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I am the new age equivalent of that, where I'm going to do everything I can with this before I ever look up or ask somebody for help on it.
To be fair, I don't ask people for help. I just Google it. So I guess I ask Google for help. And then YouTube tells me everything I need to know for most things. So
YouTube's a great teacher. It's taught me a lot of things about my car.
I fix a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's shout out to my uncle as a child. So I talked about the person who forced me to go through Google. This is the beginning of that actually. When I was like 16, I had my first car. My transmission blew up. He said, "It's broke, ain't it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, fix it." I said, "How?" He said, "They sell books at the AutoZone." I said, "All right." I literally dropped the transmission when I was 16 years old. Took it apart. He helped me rebuild the transmission. We put it back in. That was a beast. So yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy to think like 30 years from now, like how different it was 30 years before.
Yeah.
Like early 90s.
Oh, yeah, there was no.
And just how much technology has advanced since then, and just 30 years from now, what it's going to look like. I feel like it's definitely going to be, it's going to whoop my ass in 30 years.
Tech in our life is going to move at a much faster pace than it did for probably even our parents.
Have you seen they're doing the whole big tech conference
CES,
right now.
yeah.
CES is going on. Have you seen some of the cool stuff they've come out with?
It's on one of my, like, what's funny is like a lot of tech YouTubers are like, it sucks to go to, but I think they go to it as they need to make content from it. It's on my bucket list of things to do. I feel like it would be cool to see the next. Yeah. Because there are a lot of things there that are coming out, but there is also a lot of, like, every booth seems to have the one thing where they're like, it's a promise from like 5 years ago. Yeah. Like they got the Sony car is there, which is going on sale, but like you get to see cool stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is on my bucket list of things to do.
I saw something that got announced. There was like a list of like 10 things that got announced the first day. And the only one that really stuck out to me was there's like a mirror that you literally
scans your body.
Yeah, just scans your body, all your biometrics, and it tells you like what's wrong with you and like
terrifying
your oxygen levels and like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's probably 10 grand, but this is dope.
But it's 10 grand now. 5 years from, I did see that. I didn't see if it's coming out soon or whatever. But it's like, say it's coming out this year. It's one of those things. 5 years from now, there'll be more than one person making it, and it will come down. It's probably something that will always be $2 grand, you know. But there was the completely wireless TV. Doesn't plug into a wall, runs on a battery, so you do have to charge it. And which was interesting because you can. The way they kind of advertised it was you could put it on the wall without having any wires at all. You didn't have to run wires through the wall, anything like that. It had suction cups on the back so that you didn't have to mount it.
How powerful are these suction cups?
Well, they're self-adjusting suction cups. So like they're constantly adjusting.
The suction cup just starts. You're watching a game and the TV starts falling.
It gets better. Wait, it gets better. So they're powered by the TV. The TV runs on a battery. So when it gets critically low, supposedly the suction cups will lower the TV to the ground.
Yeah,
slowly.
Yeah, no thanks. Boy. I do not want to have a panic attack every time my TV dies.
But the other use for it
Fall
that I
asleep
thought of,
on the couch, I wake up, my TV's broken on the ground. No thanks.
The other use I thought of it for was like we used to bring the TV when we would record outside. We'd run the TV outside sometimes, and you'd have to fiddle for an outlet and a plug. I'm like, oh, if this TV's just charged up, You can take it because there's only like two sizes. There's
Yeah,
a
I was about
55.
to say, what's the size?
There's a 55-inch and then like a 30-inch or 27-inch, something like small.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of a cool use that you can just kind of bring it around the house a little bit if you wanted to do that.
Bring it on the subway. Just, hey,
The,
you wanna watch the newest show right here, buddy? Just
Trying to think of some of the other things. There was a robot vacuum that had an arm
I saw that. It like picks up
that
stuff.
will pick up clothes and put it in a basket for you. And that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
Like that's something that's at a beginning stage, but I feel like in a couple of years it's going to be super practical and will work for. Like right now, it can only pick up like socks, things that are super light. But I mean, I'm not really leaving clothes around my house like that.
Yeah.
But I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
Once it now listen, if it can start picking up my kids' toys and moving it out the way so that I don't have to move them for my robot vacuum to go every day, then we're in business.
I keep seeing the like the full life like body like just people basically, and
Yeah,
they're like,
that's
this can be your
creepy.
assistant, this can be your girlfriend, this can be, but the prices are outrageous. They start like $150,000, but it's like 30 years from now, do we think that's just going to be? What's the movie?
How much money do I spend on my wife?
With the
right
future
now?
house, you know, you just walk in the house and you just got an extra family member that's just a robot that's just doing shit around the house.
There you go.
I think at some point we will all have some sort of assistant, whether it's a full-on robot or an Alexa,
Yeah.
like a souped-up version of it.
Most people basically already do with Alexa
Yeah,
or
like,
Siri.
I
or,
thi-
What's
I
that?
think-
What's
I
that
don't know what
Disney
you're
Channel
talking
movie? I can't.
Smart house.
Smart House, yeah.
That's my house.
Yeah. That's basically what that's gonna happen.
You don't have quite these. Have
No.
you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
One day.
But like I mean, I've already gone to the extent where we've had that conversation in the past where like, would you be willing to wear the things on your face? I bought the glasses, the Meta glasses. I use those.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it.
They had glasses too. Somebody else was putting out glasses.
Yeah,
at this
those were
thing.
they like projected something on your eyes. It was
Yeah.
kind of nuts.
And it had a AI assistant that basically could translate anything that was said to you or like
That's
you
what mine do.
read.
Mine do.
Really? That's dope.
Mine. I have the Meta ones, which kind of getting a bad rep right now.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about
I
that.
think, but
It is what it is.
yeah. But I have So we went to the grocery. One of the first things I did with it, we went to the grocery, and I had planned on we were making like a taco soup,
Mhm.
and I had all the ingredients out. I laid it out on the counter, and I said, "Look at this, and tell me what I can make with it." And it within like 3 seconds was like, "You can make taco soup. You can make tacos. You can make all these different like a bean dip." I was like, "Well, that's pretty cool." And then I was like, "Hey, I have espresso and these alcohols. What can I make with it?" And it just ran down a list of different drinks you can make, and I'd be like, "All right, well, tell me the recipe for this one," and it just runs down the recipe. So it's like those are, I mean, they can do some things. I can read if I go to France, I can read a sign or I can look at a sign and be like, "Tell me what this says," and it'll translate it for me. So I mean, we're in the future, like, and this is the beginning stages of all of that. It's only gonna get crazier, which is exciting and scary.
A little scary. You're going to have orbs floating around soon. We're not going to know what they are. It's going to be great.
They already are, man. They're already floating everywhere, man.
That makes me think. I'm really upset. It was only a couple weeks ago when the drones were going around.
Yeah.
I really thought we'd get more fun conspiracies out of that, and there really hasn't been.
Well, there's been a few, but it's nothing crazy.
Did you guys see the frightening thing with the drones where it was like raining down drones?
Yeah,
No.
it took out a kid.
Yeah.
Where was this at? Took out a kid?
I forgot where it was at.
He's alive, but put him in the hospital.
They had the little drone shows, and then all of a sudden the drones just malfunctioned, and it was phew, phew, phew,
Yeah, they
phew.
started
in
falling.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That happened
That's
in
where it
Orlando.
was?
probably. All right. Well, first off, you probably shouldn't stand under the drones. That should be like,
And they're not small drones; like they're pretty decent sized drones.
they look
like
small.
hauling
They look small in the
ass.
sky, but
You get one launching 200 miles an hour at your face.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
different.
but they didn't know what. I don't know if they ever figured out what happened. Like, but they were like, yeah, it could have just been a simple malfunction. The drones could have ran into each other. A bird could have flew into it, and it's like one of those because they were making the show out of it. So like, if one goes wrong, a bunch of them go wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't think they would just fall and fall out the sky.
Terrifying. It's dark.
Run!
It's dark. You can't see a drone.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
'cause
where's
all
it
the-
at?
Because
You
the
just
lights
hear
went
it.
off on the drone too.
Yeah, we're in the early stages of the year, but drones are early losers in 2025.
We're gonna be honest, drones are scary as fuck. I didn't think drones were gonna be as scary as they are now when I first started seeing them get sold. And now that like you see them getting used in war and you think of like the possibilities of if China wanted to just send 100,000 drones in one area and blow up the whole area, like there's nothing you can do.
Is it South Korea or North Korea that did it? They had the drones that they had poop and they just went over there and just dropped a bunch of poop into the.
You can't stop it. Like, what are you gonna do?
Drones are definitely one of the like you need an extremely accurate like weapon or person to be able to take a drone down.
What if they send 100,000 of them?
Yeah, that's true.
Or just like know how to maneuver it. I got a $20 toy drone for my son for Christmas, and it was a horrible experience. It went in the neighbor's backyard a couple times. It crashed. I thought I broke it multiple times. I'm like, this is a slight breeze and knocks. I'm like, this is hard.
No, there's some people that already believe that this is a thing, but at some point there will be drones that just look like animals, birds.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
birds
aren't real.
What if we fly 100,000 bird drones to another country and they like, oh, look at all the boom, 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 boom. Like
they must be flying north for the winter.
Shit. I definitely thought drones would be like one of those like gimmicky things that a few people owned here and there. Like I didn't have drones just becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really had them becoming like war missiles either. Like
leave it to governments to be like, how can I kill people with this?
Yeah. Like,
oh look, it's my Amazon package. No, it's not. It's 2 caliber rounds coming.
Like I kind of feel bad for the people that were just buying them to like do cool photography with, because now they just have such a bad rep. Like we're probably pretty close to you like having to have special licenses to fly drones.
People get pissed off about drones too.
Yeah, there's like zoning requirements in some places. Like you can't have drones flying over by it. And I do appreciate the cool like stadium drone shots where they like go through the bleachers and then the food courts, and then like Augusta, the Masters, they did one last year where they went through the clubhouse and then went upstairs and through the trophy room, and then those are pretty cool.
You know what I don't get? So those are such beautiful shots, like very crystal clear, look amazing. Yeah. But when you see that there's a lot of like shows now that start to use drone shots, like live drone shots, and they are the blurriest, ugliest shot. And it's like, how can you not get a good camera on this thing? Why are we putting this on TV?
Going too fast.
Maybe that's what it is. That makes sense.
That it's live.
Just bad quality because it's
Don't
live.
have a chance to edit
maybe.
it, I guess.
Yeah. Like you got all the ones he's talking about. There's like post processing and
The worst camera was the Pels did it for like one of the first games, and it was like follow the. I'm like, can we go back to the normal camera, please?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I need my Dramamine. I can't watch this game anymore.
Pels will do anything to try to get people to tune in right now. Okay,
it's rough. They had their special season ticket holder event, and I know that because I had a friend that I saw getting on an airplane to go to a Pelicans game. It was all Pelicans team, and I was like, "What the hell is this? This is crazy! I didn't know they did that." And then it hit me today that they suspended Zion right before that game.
Not only that, like we have like 3 or 4 players out. All of Memphis's top guys were out. Like Ja was out, Bane was out. Yeah. All of them were out. So these people got flown out to see a G League game, basically.
Jeez. Yeah,
and CJ McCollum.
They won tonight, though.
Did he score 50?
Fuck, 36.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, it's Pels are a tough watch. Right?
Listen, I'm all for it, man. I've told people I'm diving into the gap year here.
They need to bring back Red Panda. That'll really get the people going.
They need to continue. Suspend Zion for the rest of the season. I don't give a shit. Like, but the Pels luck.
Give you a 360 dunk.
Yeah, the Pels luck will have the best odds for the 1 seed, and we're gonna end up with 6. Because in the past we've had the odds for 5 and 6, and that's how we get 1.
Yeah,
it's not gonna go in our favor. But whatever, man.
Somebody's leaving by the end of the year.
Oh, a few people are leaving by the end of the year. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Me, if they keep this bullshit up.
I can't even watch the games.
I was lied to. I was told you're going to be able to watch all the games now. I am not going to buy an antenna. I'm just not going to do it.
I bought one. I bought 2. It don't matter.
Is that how you watch the games? I was looking for it the other day. I thought like half the games are supposed to be on local TV.
I thought it was going to be
like,
on Fox.
Yeah, I'm on Fox, and it's like Mass Singer. Like this is not the Pels game.
No, it's on a version of Fox.
It's like GCW.
Yeah,
TV.
like you know how like if you've ever used an antenna, because a lot of people these days have never used an antenna, and you get like the digital channels on the antenna now. It's like 7 point whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like. I made the joke online the other day. I felt like I was like 11, like waiting to hit last button, just in case somebody walked in. Because the whole time it's like, and I'm like, are we playing basketball? What's happening?
I used to be like that with tennis. like just because it's very loud grunting noises, and it sounds very weird when you're just in high school and you just and they walk in. You're like, you don't have to change it, but you feel like you have to change it. You're like, I'm not even watching anything bad, but it feels like I'm
now
watching.
You look guilty. If you
Yeah.
quickly like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, they know that I'm watching something. I know that I'm not watching something, but I still feel like I should change the channel.
That's funny. That's funny, but you know what? Like you said in the past, all these streaming services are hearing us complain about this, and they're like, just gonna charge them more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll do it. I'll pay it. I'll pay it because I'm not buying an antenna. I'm not going in the hassle of going buy the antenna, coming home, setting the antenna up. The picture can't be great.
We thought we were so damn smart cutting the cord. They were like, we're going to cut the cord. We're not going to pay for any channels. Well, guess what? Now you're paying for 50 other things.
but we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. The first the Steelers and Ravens game this weekend is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you ain't watching the game.
I got it, but I don't care about that game. You want to come over and watch it? Do you need a spot?
I picked a good time to stop caring about sports as much as I used to. Because I'm just nowadays, like there was a time where I would be upset. I'm like, how can I watch this game? I got to find a way to watch it. Now I'm like,
Yeah, that kind of,
What up?
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of pisses me off about you sometimes.
I'll just watch whatever, man. Go
We
watch
went-
The
where's your
Office again.
passion?
I don't know. Listen, it's not. It would be different. So like if the Saints were a good team and winning,
Yeah.
it would be appointment television. But like,
I mean, the Pels were fun a few years ago,
yeah, and I watched the games.
and we went to the playoff game.
and I watched the games, and I would
Yeah.
go to the games. But like, first off, going to a Saints or Pelicans game nowadays, just out of the question. Like I'm losing money on my tickets because I'm like, I'm going to spend the amount of money I'm going to spend. If my son was more into it and I could go have the experience with him, I would
It
do
ain't
it.
worth it.
No,
you
it's
don't want a
not.
$15 bowl of jambalaya.
I would do it if like the three of us were like, hey, let's go to the Pels game tonight. Let's go and then
Yeah.
make a night out of it. But I'm not going across this bridge just to go to a Pelicans game.
Bro, even if I lived in like Metairie still, I don't think I would go to a lot of. I'm not paying $40 to park, and then I'm gonna drink. I'm not paying $150 worth of alcohol or whatever it is. It ain't gonna be that, but it's something crazy. And then if I eat all these different things, the tickets themselves, you spend like $400 just to go to a game. I'm
To
like,
not even know
Right.
who's going to be in the starting lineup.
good man.
Right. And again, if I'm coming from over here, if I'm crossing the lake, I'm not just going for the Pels game. It's going to be a day. We're making a day out of it. I'm making a night out of it.
Yeah.
So then you got to, now, granted, that's my own choosing after the game to continue to spend money. But like, it's only happening because I'm going to the Pels game.
Yeah.
So like, that's not happening. And then also, it's like, do I want to sit down and watch this terrible team? Or like, do I want to go hang out with my kid
Yeah.
and go, or like just do literally anything else?
Yeah.
Like,
I
like now the Saints games, they're just like background noise. They're all listen.
yeah.
The Saints, I haven't gotten to the point yet with the Saints where I'm like not watching the games. The Saints games were always on in my house,
Mhm.
always, and I'm listening to them. But like, it's not like it was in the past where I'm at every home game and every away game. Don't bother me. The Saints were on. Now it's like background noise is on. If my kid wants to put a puzzle together during the game, go and put a puzzle together.
Yeah.
Like
I think like at the end of the season, that's how I got. Like the game was still on. I was definitely it was still a part of my Sunday. But I was definitely like one day we were leaving church and we were talking about eating, and I think it was like 11:30. And I was like, let's just go to brunch. And Victoria's like, really? Like, you don't care about the game today? And I was like, let's be honest.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like you could tell, I didn't really pay much attention to the last game, but I could guarantee I could tell you how it played out. They play out the same every week,
It was pretty fun.
every single week. I did see the end because I was told Mike Evans was getting close. So I locked in and was like, let me see.
I forgot about that.
I was like, let me see how this goes. But I'm like, whatever. The other night, I was ready to watch Zion. But again, I couldn't figure out how to watch it. I'm at work. I threw Fox on. I thought I was going to get to watch it. It's not on Fox. Guess what? I'm not doing.
Not watching the game.
So, it is what it is, man.
Ain't that some shit?
But I'm watching hockey. My hockey team's good, so I'm making it a point to go watch my hockey teams.
Great.
I'm just saying, it should not be easier for me to watch a Vegas hockey game than it is to watch the Pelicans. Granted, Vegas is a marquee team in the NHL, so they're on national TV more often. But I should not be able to watch more Vegas Golden Knight games than Pelicans games.
Yeah.
Being in New Orleans, that's a joke.
Yeah. Take it to the man. I mean,
You know what? I'll blame David Griffin or whoever you want to blame for not making this interesting for me. Blame all their knees and ankles and all the other shit that keeps getting hurt. They can't catch a flight on time. Like, what you want me to do?
that's ridiculous too. If I'm being honest, It's not the first time he missed a flight.
Yeah.
That's why he got suspended. He's missed multiple he's been late for multiple flights. And they finally said, you know what, you're suspended. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
There were people I know, like I don't want to talk too much about like local sports here, but like there were people still blaming David Griffin for it. I'm like, how? We're not about to we're not about to spin this around and put it on anybody other than the person who is missing the flights.
People are just mad.
You can blame David Griffin for not handling it sooner because we're in year 6.
Oh, David Griffin he has to answer some damn questions. If we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you want to say.
Sure, but this isn't David Griffin. Like the person to blame in this situation
is Zion.
For sure.
Right.
And to his credit, he immediately came out, owned it, had his statement.
As he should.
Yeah, but in the past, we all know in the past, Zion has been quiet in certain situations.
You hear from his dad. And then,
this is the first time I think I've seen Zion step up and be like, hey.
I think he's grown up over the last year. With the birth of his child, you've seen a few things. He came into this season very in shape. He looked great. He took
still in shape. The most shocking thing of the season, all this time off, I thought it was going to be, we're getting blown up Zion.
So that's what I was going to say. He took his recovery very serious when he got hurt. He came back in phenomenal shape. Now, then he missed a damn flight 2 days later.
Motherfucker got me to buy back in. I was ready. I had finally reached the breaking point where I was like, it might be time.
Yeah.
It might be time to move on.
He jumped that pass, got a steal, and did a little
dunk.
did a little windmill.
One dunk.
I was like,
One dunk. And I'm like, you know what? This is Zion City. I don't ain't shit on the Saints. This is Zion City.
Trade who?
Yeah.
I would never trade Zion. You're crazy.
Trey Murphy was doing his damnedest to make it his city. Zion does one dunk, and I'm like, that's Zion forever.
Sorry, Trey. See, that's the problem. That's the problem with Zion. We've been saying this from the beginning of time. He is a superstar, and you can't quantify what that is. He is just it, and no one else on the team is that.
Right, and and they just need, man, if they could just get one other superstar, not these part-time superstars. And I know we got DeJounte, and people are judging DeJounte unfairly, I would like to say, because what the fuck is he supposed to do right now? Dude has, I don't even know who the hell, Javonte Green running
Boston
with him.
Jr.
Come on, man.
Like, who do you think DeJounte Murray is? DeJounte Murray will be phenomenal if you have the whole starting lineup.
But also, again, still not
He proved
another
it the first game of the season.
Still not another superstar. If they could just have another superstar that could carry the team, and we could just let Zion come and go as he does, we would be okay. And I could be okay with Zion's little life he does. But like,
I just want to be okay. Be okay.
It's upsetting, man. Okay. You got me worked up. But yeah, I'm back on the Zion train. Just to put a bow on that.
Choo choo.
Feed the fuel.
But also, if you want to give us like 4 first-round picks for him, you can.
Yeah, we'll load up like the Thunder.
Yeah. Would you see? Now we're on it. Would you rather get Cooper Flag, and kind of reset this clock, or if you get the first-round pick, trade it for a superstar?
I don't fucking know. I'll be honest. I don't know anything anymore. I don't even know what today is.
Can you name another college player besides Cooper Flag?
No.
No. Me either. Me either.
No.
That's upsetting, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a part of me getting old too. Is I'm not checked out, but I'm just
I don't think it's necessarily. I think men's college basketball, like I said, people don't care about it anymore.
Maybe.
They just don't.
Yeah.
How many college you the only reason I pay attention to March Madness is to bet, and I'm betting blindly. I'm like, damn, Texas was good at one point. Let me put some money on them.
There you go.
Who's the 16th seed? One of these motherfuckers is gonna win.
Yeah. What else we got? We had another topic.
I have a topic. I think you said you had one more too. But shout out to Jeff, my cousin Jeff, put on Facebook the other day. He was upset that Netflix continues to give him the skip intro option because, quote, he says, who wants to watch the intro? Now he's got to fiddle around for the remote quickly so he can skip the intro. So my question is, do you watch the intro?
Yes, but it depends on what the show is.
Yeah, I was about to say.
If the intro sucks, I'm skipping.
You want to know what my response was?
What?
I'm watching the Bluey intro every
single time. I get mad at my child when she skips that intro. I'm like, what are you doing?
I done changed the kids' names to my kids' names.
Oh,
Be like, it's Zayden. Jason!
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've been walking around the house. Bluey's not even. We have gone. It took us a while, as you know, to get on the Bluey train.
Welcome.
Oh boy, we have Bluey on the tablet. One episode of Bluey on the tablet, and another one on the TV.
Have you?
My 2-year-old is walking around the house going, "Brr!" I'm like, okay.
Have you started watching the shorts yet?
No, they
or mini episodes, I
Not
guess they're
yet.
called, which is
Yeah.
crazy to me. What a crazy
mini
concept.
of an already short show.
This show is 7 minutes
Yeah.
long, and they decided to make mini episodes
Yeah.
of it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, but we
love
never
it.
did talk about how we might not be getting any new ones.
Yeah.
Well, I heard
there's a
I
movie.
heard that
There's a
it's,
movie
the show's
coming,
still going, but the director I think
Yeah.
is kind of stepping away. But
That's
it's
a big
still
role,
happening.
man. That's a big role to take away because they could just. Louis is good for specific reasons, and if it changes even a little bit,
It's
That's
just
upsetting.
so different.
Bluey is a show like could if Bluey was just on TV, right? Like if this was the cable days
Mhm.
and it was a Saturday morning and Bluey was just on my TV,
Yeah.
I would sit down and watch it as an adult.
Give me a big ass bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Bluey cereal at that.
Yeah.
My kid told me today he had Bluey cereal at lunch.
good.
They have it at Sam's. If
Basically,
you're interested.
basically corn pops, but
Oh.
it's still good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it blue?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like just circle blue and
I
like
imagine.
gold.
Does it turn your milk blue? Ah, that's
I thought you
upsetting.
were gonna ask about poop. I don't know why. That's where my brain went.
It's like the Burger King Whoppers. You get like the black Whopper and it.
Your poop's
Yeah,
black.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid getting just like green snowballs. And my poop would be green.
yeah.
Uh,
Does the snowball match?
so
the
yeah,
poop?
do you skip the intro?
Freaked me out as a child.
Same thing. It depends on the show. I just binge watch Punisher, and I think Punisher has like one of like the intro is so good. It's literally them like just doing this corny dance, and it's just giant swole John Cena in like this Punisher uniform, and then all the characters come out and they're doing this cheesy like choreographic dance, and it's just you can't skip it.
Yeah.
It also depends. Some intros are too long. Like, listen, so Game of Thrones, for example, every time it comes back for the first time,
Wiener, 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 wiener. Can't think of South Park.
every time it comes back for the new season, I watch the intro for the first because
Yeah.
Game of Thrones will also throw little pieces in the video
Mm-hmm.
that you can catch, but it's also way too.
It was like that
fucking
with
long,
House
man.
of Dragons. It's like you listen to it the first couple times, you're like this is cool, and then after like you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is really a long intro.
Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah, but like I watch it when I binge watch The Office at least once a year, and like I'm listening to the Office theme every time. Parks and Rec, I'm rewatching that right now. Same thing.
Westworld had a really good intro.
Yeah. But that's another one that's kind of similar to,
Yeah.
to Game of Thrones, where it's like, okay, I
All the
heard it.
HBO
Let's not
shows.
do this again.
It's all the HBO shows. All of them typically have solid intros,
Ballers.
but you're like, I'm over it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Never skip the Ballers intro.
yeah, but that's an actual song.
That's true.
Ballers is an actual song, and it's a Wayne song. So you're like, yeah, I'll get into
Well,
this.
it's a Drake song. But yeah.
I didn't realize the Fresh Prince song was like that. I'm listening to that every time.
Yeah, before we came
What is
in
it?
here,
What is the name? Oh,
J.
Bel Air.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bel Air. I didn't realize they were doing J. Cole songs as the intro. I would listen to that every time.
Yeah, wrestling goes off, and we're like, all right, let's go start the pod. And it's like,
Yeah.
and we're like, what?
It was like Moz to a Flame. We're just like, what?
Yeah.
We
Like,
all
what
stared
show
at
is
the TV.
this?
Yeah. So it is. I'm not skipping the intro for every show, but there are some kid shows that I'm like, we need to skip the shit out of this right now. Please. I don't need to hear Blippi tell me anything. Please skip it.
Yeah. I did enjoy Peppa Pig for some reason. I don't even know.
We haven't done the Peppa Pig thing. Thank God.
I just like snorting. Peppa Pig. I came to it.
It made my son have like the Peppa Pig accent,
Mhm.
and we don't watch it at the house, but he watches it at my wife's,
I love that.
my mother-in-law's house. So he would come home like, "Mommy, Daddy." I'm like, "Where are you learning this? Like, we don't watch anything that sounds close to that."
Yeah.
And then
My daughter does it.
her mom was like,
Still.
"Yeah, they watch it at our house." I was like, "Why?"
It's funny.
It was-
She'll, and if he keeps doing it, he'll start using random words that you're like, I don't know. Is that the right context?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like she'll use words she hears on Bluey or
Yeah,
like
I was about to say,
Peppa Pig,
I've
and
kind
I'll
of
be like,
I've had to explain to Kaysen, like, they don't live here. Like,
Yeah.
they say things that we don't say. Like, they don't make sense here, or if it's different context.
yeah.
And he's like, what does this mean? I'm like, I'll be honest, I don't know.
She'll call things like rubbish sometimes, and I
Yeah.
laugh. I'm like, what? Who says that?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
All right, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. That's
funny.
awesome. I love that. I feel like you haven't come with topics in like weeks. Do you have anything?
I ran the whole last or the episode before, didn't I?
Did you?
I did.
I
There was
don't-
one episode where I literally did the whole thing.
I don't.
It was like 2 episodes ago.
I don't recall.
Patty's had a rough couple days. Okay.
Also, the whole first 20 minutes of this was about me.
Yeah.
I guess. But who said the controversial things in the first 20 minutes?
That's fair.
I have a weird new addiction of.
I forgot about that.
I just go through these little phases where I just get random stuff that I just get hooked on, and right now I'm hooked on just
Heroin.
independence. Yeah, heroin. It's really it's a tough.
It's like you
deep
wiping
cut.
your nose earlier. I was wondering why.
What are you hooked on? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wanna know.
I'm hooked on phonics.
Phonics, damn it.
All the brains worked at the same time. No, I'm just addicted to small businesses on TikTok.
What?
And just watching them.
You better enjoy it because you only got about 9 more days of that.
Yeah. Well, they have one guy, and a lot of people are addicted just like myself. He just owns this ice cream stand and this ice cream shop in Indianapolis, Indiana. Another one, they own a coffee shop in Iowa. And it's literally just them going through their day-to-day business, them having customers up and serving them ice cream and going over their different stuff that they're making. And it's just something about, and they're 2-3 minute long videos on TikTok. And it's just something about watching a small business. I don't know.
If you have a coffee shop that you would like somebody to come record some content for you, please reach out to us.
Yeah. Brew Bros at
That's interesting.
Patty at brewbros.com.
Yeah.
Info at brewbros.com. What's our email address?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
We'll link it in the bio.
I think it's like Patty at Brew Bros and Dave at Brew Bros
Is that
or
what
something
it
like
is?
that.
I couldn't remember.
Or just brewbros at Gmail.
Yeah, it works too. That's fine. It all goes the same place.
Yeah. That's interesting. So you're basically just enjoying watching other people live their lives.
Yeah. Something about it. And a lot of people, same thing. I mean, it's like a weird ASMR. Just, you learn about their customers that come back every day. And
Oh, here's Joe again. All
yeah.
right.
They're like,
at
I know
Joe.
this is Gail's car, you know.
Joe, how dare you not order your caramel macchiato today? How dare you?
You're following so much, you know these people's orders.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't get
it's
the
tough.
sprinkles?
Yeah.
Well, something must be going on in his life.
Well, they got one guy, he comes in and they know him by name and he gets a Diet Mountain Dew every time. So every time he comes up to the window, they give him the Diet Mountain Dew and he gets his little meals.
I do like that. Does that make you feel special when you walk in somewhere
It
and they just
does.
hand you?
It
Here you
feels
go.
like I'm training, but I don't have to actually be there. I'm just gonna watch you guys run your
You know how
business.
much I used to go to that CC's
Yeah.
over there? Like they used to know my voice through the drive-through.
Yeah.
And would just have my coffee ready, and it would throw them off. There were a couple times where I'd get to the drive-through and like they would have it ready, and like it's not what I wanted that day, but I just took it anyway
Yeah.
because I'm like, what? This is customer service.
That's customer service. Did I tell you guys about my trips to Atlanta for work? There's a coffee
I mean, you
shop.
tell us something about it every time, but I
Well,
don't know.
did I tell you about the coffee dude? Blows my mind every time. I met him once,
Yeah.
one time. So the place I go, it's like a office building. It's like a tech office, but on a bunch of different tech companies. And at the bottom, there's a coffee shop. There's like 3 people that work in this coffee shop, and they see a bunch of people because it's on a massive strip. And first day I walk in, order cold brew black. Always, it's always what I get. Come back down later for a coffee. He says cold brew black. I'm like, yeah, cool. He just saw me. That's
Yeah.
fine. I get it. Come back 4 months later. I walk in, cold brew black. I'm like, sir, hold the hell on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some
I
people
Blew my mind.
Some people are like that. I saw there was a guy, he did an experiment where he went to this it was a coffee or donut shop, and he said, how many days will it take for them to remember me as a regular and remember my order? So every day he'd go in there, he's like, blueberry muffin, a blueberry donut, and a whatever coffee. And then he'd go in the next day, hey, I take a blueberry, donut and a coffee. And then like after so many days, it was just like, at what point are they going to remember?
Donut shops are one of those places though. Donut shop, I used to like in high school, I dated a girl that worked at a donut shop, and she would tell me all the time, like she'd work the morning shifts,
Mhm.
and it's definitely one of those places where it's the same people
Same. Yeah.
every morning, and like that is a pretty common thing, I'd imagine. We frequent small coffee shops
Yeah.
around here, and we don't really get the same. I mean, I guess we get the same drinks pretty every time we go, but it's not like every time I walk in the door, I'm getting like at some point I'm gonna get a cold brew, but I might go in and get something
Yeah.
else to begin with. But they know us, like they've, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Like by name.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, there's a lot of places we go that are like that. The coffee shop, the CC's was one of them. Was the only one that was like,
Yeah.
this is your order. When I worked in the quarter and we had Andrew, shout out to Andrew.
Mhm.
I'd get off at 11 o'clock and he would have my drink waiting for me when I walked in the door.
That's-
Like, yeah,
Thank you, buddy.
yeah, that's like, it's I don't know, man. It's cool. It's always cool to
Yeah,
get
it's
that.
pretty cool.
I need y'all to say a prayer for me for tomorrow.
All right. You want to hold hands?
I'm going to a trampoline birthday party.
Oh.
And I just want to just put a prayer that I come back with all my limbs intact.
Prepare to be humbled.
Yeah.
I've seen that kid.
I'm going to be humbled.
You need to pray for your child because he's an animal.
See, I'm in the weird stage. We went a couple weekends ago, and like the inner kid in me wants to just jump and go crazy on all this stuff. And you're like, all of a sudden you jump too high and you come down and your knees buckle a little bit. You're like, okay, maybe I got to chill out just a little bit.
I was going to ask, you ever scare yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to just go up too high and come down and tear an ACL, and then I can't. My 3-year-old's halfway across the trampoline. I'm like Peter Griffin on the sidewalk with my knee. Yeah.
So this is. We'll have a response to that in a second, but it brings something up that I've told my wife recently. So like, I've gotten to the point where I'm old enough now that if I'm home with my kids by myself, I won't like use a ladder. I won't go in the attic by myself because I know I'm to the age.
You bubble wrap yourself?
No, well, I'm to the age now where I know my knee could just give out at any time or something like that. And my kids will be like, I'll be in the garage, like fighting for my life. And my kids will just be in the house by themselves. And
Is this a fear that you're just scared your knee's going to buckle while you're walking?
No, it's not while I'm walking. It's like
climbing a ladder.
Yeah, I'm like I might just, I don't know, man. Like, so I'm just at that point now where my body might just fail me, and then my kids are just walking around my house.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeez.
God forbid I fall out the attic because my knee gave out and I dead in the garage, and my kids are just strolling around the house. A 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 2-year-old is through this phase where he's just climbing up shit and jumping off. So like, if I fall, then he's gonna go just.
That looked cool.
Yeah. So it's a concern I've had recently. It's a conversation I've legitimately had with my wife. I'm like, I don't think you should also be climbing into the attic without anybody else home. But anyway, getting back
Safety first.
Safety first, yeah.
Getting back to what you said, I've also got, which is kind of contradictory when it comes to things like that, trampoline parks, roller coasters and all this. I'm just going to go and do all of this until my body fails me. I'm gonna jump at these trampoline parks until my fucking knee gives out and be like, all right, well, next time we won't do that.
And then it's gonna hurt you for 25 years
That's
after
right.
you get surgery.
I'm deathly afraid of like the ACL or something at one of these places because that's a whole different story.
Fair. Roller coasters, I'm gonna do it until I do one and I throw up afterwards. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But
I did that about 5 when we went to Cedar Point in Ohio. I'm still to this day a big thrill junkie, and I used to always I still love roller coasters. But we're going on one that has some real tight spins, and all of a sudden the blackness of my eyes started to come in. I'm like, is this the end? I'm like, am I getting old? Is this I'm gonna pass out on roller coasters now?
I never had that, but we went to I guess it might have been Universal. And I've reached the point now. Universal's a lot of
4D.
Like simulators, whatever, or roller coaster plus the simulator ride. And I've learned that I just can't do those back to back to back to back anymore like I used to be able to. So I have reached that point. So it's like, yeah, we'll do a couple, take a step back, and we'll dive back in. So there isn't it like a thing where you do reach a certain age and you just like you can't do roller coasters anymore? Like maybe not everybody,
like because of your back and stuff. Like there's,
but like I think, sorry. Like, I think there's just something like in your brain that starts to give you like the sickness
maybe
after a while.
You
I'm
get
sure it's
down with
genetic. It might not be.
Down with the sick.
I don't think we can sing that one. We talked about having a sing along. I don't think we can sing along to that one.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, say a prayer for it.
So we'll say a prayer.
We're getting old. That's what we've determined today.
Yeah.
None of y'all worry about falling out the attic.
No, I don't.
You might now.
I don't.
Every time I get
but it's not even. It's not a thought you had. But now you might go up in the attic and be like, "If I fall, your daughter's just will go make shit out the fridge and whatever.
She don't care.
She would just live her life.
Live her life.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Daddy, I'm eating cookie butter." And I'd be like, "I'm dead." No, I have like thought about stepping through the attic before on accident because there's so much insulation up there. I'm like, where's the wood at? And I haven't decked my attic yet, so. Yeah, worry about that. What I do worry about is the banister here because I'm tall. Yeah. And if I trip or fall, I'm probably going over this banister. And it's about a 15-foot drop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that would be a rough fall.
like mankind.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the top.
By God, he's broken his half. That's what it is.
Yeah, every time I go on a tall ladder or an attic, I think I sent the TikTok to you guys. I just instantly want to channel my inner Jeff Hardy. Just like, it's like, how do I not want to jump from the top?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's part of life, I guess. Inner kid is going to win somehow, I think, and my body's going to say, hey, not no more, buddy. And it's going to be too late at that point. We're too old to be doing it.
Yeah, well,
It's life, man.
Such is life.
You just got to push your body until it tells you otherwise. You're going to try to go hoop until your body's like, hey, maybe you can't play 5 games of pickup in a row.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing flag football. I would still probably play basketball, but I haven't played in so long.
Or you're just
Since
going to be
my
like, you know
hand
what?
got broken.
Might want to transition to just being a little spot-up shooter in the corner.
Yeah. Maybe don't.
Catch me on the wing.
Yeah.
We're not banging in the post anymore, buddy.
You're like, I get why people cherry pick in full court.
Yeah.
But also, the words full court might just spring a nightmare.
I was always the guy that wanted to play full court.
Me too.
And everybody else would complain, or they'd play a half a game and then quit, and I'd be so mad. I'd be like, I just want to get some run in.
Yeah. Nothing's worse than like 4-on-4 half court. It's like, this just doesn't. Easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
4-on-4 half court gets a little busy.
But it's okay. It can be okay.
You can do twos. Twos obviously is half court. Threes.
Two's a lot of
You
space.
can't run 5s half court. I get
No.
upset with that.
Yeah, that's tough.
You feel like you're just at practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's not even a real full-size court most of the time. It's
Right.
like you're in these tiny little,
Life.
And then we go play out there sometimes, and like we're playing with high school kids. I'm like, these kids got a different level of juice. Like I can't.
I joined a pickup league a couple years back, like 2 years back, I think. Right when I first met you, I was still playing pickup, or not pickup
Yeah,
basketball, but I was
remember
playing like in a league.
Man, that's a long time. Feels like a
Yeah,
long time ago.
it was like two and a half years ago.
Been
I
a
think. It's been a
while.
while. But we played in like a better league because we used to be pretty decent, and we were playing against a bunch of like 18-year-olds that were like fresh out of high school and had a coach, and we were like, we about to wax y'all.
Yeah.
Well, they ran us off the fucking court because we were old. Okay, we couldn't keep up with these 18-year-olds. They had a whole 9-man squad and a coach that was making subs, and they were just running, and they were full court pressing. And I was like, why?
That's the worst.
Why are we doing this? I am 33 years old or 34 years old right now. I don't want to do this.
I get PTSD hearing like full court press. That used to be the worst. Like first quarter, game starts, tip off, you win the tip, and then it's like full court press, and you're like, what are we doing?
You don't see that in a lot of the Metairie leagues and stuff I'm playing because it's like 30-year-olds. Like ain't nobody trying to kill themselves out there. They'll play. We're playing like we're hooping. We're competing.
We're doing this to get away from the house for an hour or two.
Right. We're gonna argue sometimes. We're gonna yell and shout, but we're not full court pressing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I saw people were up in arms about it. I mean, I don't know if people call it, but like if and one is considered a foul or not. To me, if you say and one, that's not you're not calling a foul.
No, you gotta say foul.
That's you like saying, hey, I'm gonna make it, even though you fouled me. Foul is a foul. If you call and one,
you're just being a dick. In my book,
like someone fouls you, you're going and one. That's not a foul. And like I thought that was a unanimous thing, but people were up in arms in the comments like, no, and one's a foul.
How do you feel about the defender calling foul for you?
No,
I hate that. I really do.
You call your own fouls.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, I know you fouled me, but I still made my bucket. You don't get to say, no, I fouled you. It's like, okay, but I didn't call foul.
If you miss the bucket, are you taking it? You're taking it.
It depends.
It had to be egregious most of the time. I didn't call a lot of fouls.
I never called foul, but if they missed, I'd be like, you want it?
Yeah.
You know, like I fouled. Like I'm not gonna say foul, but like you want it?
Nah. I was just like play ball, like it is.
Yeah, and if I'm the one that got fouled, unless you like wrap me up,
right?
I'm not.
There was always like it was either every pickup game. You either had the guy who was just getting like, and he just wasn't calling anything, and you're like, dude, this guy's just getting the ball in the paint and he's scoring no matter what. And then you have the guy that just calls every ticky tacky.
That pisses
foul.
me off. I think that's why I didn't call fouls because I would get mad. I'd be like, bro, can we just play?
Right.
Please.
You tip, like, bro, you drove the lane, pushed off with your right hand, and you missed the shot, but then it's foul on me. Like, come on.
Yeah. It drives me nuts. We don't actually have refs out here. We're not calling ticky-tack fouls.
No. Oh, dude. It's even worse, like, with pickup football, where people, like, are trying to, where somebody will call pass interference, and it's like, Okay, man. Like, like what are we doing?
You want to move it 15 yards?
Yeah,
too?
like what are we doing here?
Spot foul.
Again, if you tackle me while I'm trying to catch the ball, sure. But like we're not calling these little ticky-tack pass interference calls and pick up football. Give me a fucking break.
Wild.
That's horrible, Tom. Anything else?
I don't think so. I was
I
trying
think
to think.
we're good, man. I don't want to force anything.
Don't force it. Or do. I don't know. Sometimes on the other side of forcing things, you go to jail.
That was going to be my follow-up, so I'm glad you said that.
All right, cool. Oh.
I was hoping he dropped a second banger this Friday, but gotta tune in next Friday.
Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweaking this bitch, so let this shit go. And I heard that she wanna show me who she be. I'm kinda fucking with it, show me some more. Bitch, we tatted head to toe, could give a fuck story. You wanna tweak it over me, and I'ma
What a
show you
banger.
how that go.
I love
Like the money in my
And it was like people made fun of it at first, and then after like the first couple listens, it was like, "Hey,
It's kind
of bangs."
It's a banger.
It goes hard.
I think it, especially for our like age group.
Yeah, it's like big
It
time.
involved all the Ball Bros.
Yeah,
too.
all three of them are involved in it. That's
One produced
awesome.
it, one wrote the lyrics.
yeah. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
It's
Jello rap.
I've only heard it
Lamel-
like 4 times.
Lamello produced it, Lonzo wrote it, and Jello rapped it.
Shout out Lavar.
So that's why it's
Interesting.
listed on like Apple Music as the Ball Brothers.
I didn't know LaMelo could.
Which is pretty cool.
I feel like
Can
we
we
haven't heard anything from Lavar
Has
in a
enough
while.
time passed that we can say if he's gonna put out songs like this, LeVar was right.
Sure.
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Was he 3 for 3 that all three of them would be good at basketball? No.
I mean, to be fair, all 3 of them are good at basketball.
They
Just
all
one of them
were
isn't
in,
as
all
good.
played in the NBA.
Well,
2 were still active. Once.
LiAngelo is who is whatever, and he's better than me and you.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, like, just to get to the league, though,
Yeah.
like you got to
Yeah.
be a special type of
yeah.
basketball player.
Lonzo,
so-
Lonzo is very good at basketball.
sure,
He's
just
very
been
good at
hurt.
basketball. LaMelo is a different breed. That motherfucker. He's
What's
so fun
crazy,
to
I
watch.
thought out of anybody, I thought like he was the one that I was kind of like, yeah, we'll
Lam-
see. Because like you watch
yeah.
the Chino Hills like scrimmages and like
Yeah,
Lonzo's dunking, like LiAngelo just is like
Melo.
dropping 30 something points.
LeVar always was adamant that LiAngelo would be the best one. He always said LiAngelo had the highest ceiling of all of them because I
Yeah.
think he was the one that was most built like a basketball
he
player.
was bigger. I think it was funny. I came across a clip yesterday and I shared it.
Was it the three of
Nobody
them
saw
playing
it.
together?
They were playing together, and Melo's hitting threes, and I'm like, that is the ugliest.
And he was so small, dude. It was that ugly shot.
It was so ugly, and the ball's like fluttering
Yeah.
through there. It's not even
No
rotating.
rotation.
Like, and this dude's in the league now, and he looks
Yeah.
good.
And he
Like,
was
how
so
did he get from here?
and he was so small.
yeah.
Yeah, well, he still does those ridiculous shots. Like
Yeah.
he does these weird threes, and I'm like,
Dude,
This
that
is
pass
so
off the backboard.
Oh yeah,
They-
LaMelo's fun
and
to
then they
watch,
blew the
man.
dunk. I'm like, come on, man. Can't blow
LaMelo,
the dunk.
I hate that he's in Charlotte because he just doesn't get TV time.
Yeah.
But man, he's fun to watch. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like, what young superstar would I want the Pels to trade for?
LaMelo.
LaMelo would be high on. I mean, Ant is number one, but like,
I know when you said you wanted him when Ant and Zion were kind of going back and forth, y'all, and the other day you're like, trade everything for Ant. In my head, I was like, yes, but I love that they're arguing. Let's
yeah. yeah, but also I imagine they would do that at practice, and it just makes them both better.
That's also true.
But like,
That'd be fun.
Ant is number one because I think Ant is the next guy in the league.
Yeah.
And then, well, Wemby is. Like, I don't even put Wemby on the list because that's just not like there's
He's not
nothing
human.
there's nothing anybody could offer the Spurs that they
Yeah.
would trade
Yeah.
Wemby for.
He's not real.
Did you see the like he is? I know we're about to wrap this up,
Yeah, I
but
know.
he's like through however many games he's got like more points than like anybody in history,
Yeah.
more assists than anybody in history, more threes than anybody in, like Steph and Clay.
Yeah.
Like he has broken basketball.
He hasn't won games
Hey,
though.
and like 2 years ago, Patty was trying to say he would take Scoot Henderson over.
I did say that. I'll own it. I was
He's
wrong.
like, I'll take Scoot. I know you were trying to just get ahead of it just in
I
case.
was. I
It
wanted
Well,
just
it's
work
easy
out
to
in your
see like
favor.
people that tall and like that lanky, and you're just like, yeah, they'll just be like the other, 80% of the tall and
Well,
lanky guys.
the argument wasn't like, I think to Patty's credit, it was never, I don't think he'll be good. It was probably more of a, he'll probably get hurt like every other 7 foot.
You had just seen Chet get hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like clearly all these long, lanky guys get hurt. Like even if they can dribble and shoot, like they're just not.
But then I
It's not
saw
gonna
him
work
like
out.
doing these things where he like put his head on his toes, and I'm like, all right, he might be different.
He's ridiculous.
They do it in France, man.
Yeah.
No.
I hope they don't just start producing people like that though. Like I don't want that to be the NBA. I don't need.
Well,
I don't need.
too late, buddy. Jokic,
Nah,
Luka.
they're not built. They're not the same, man.
Not built
Jokic,
the same,
listen,
but
Giannis is
it's
not.
like the international
I was
players.
gonna
Nah,
say,
bro.
I think you're pointing out more like the international
Yeah,
players.
international
He's
Oh
talking
no,
about
I mean
freaks.
like 7'6" freaks
yeah.
that just can do everything. Like I don't want that all over the league.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. Maybe one other one that can stop Wemby, but other than that,
We need one.
like
more.
the only hope we have now is that
Alien
Giannis can
versus
just put his,
Cyborg or something.
the only hope now you have is that Giannis just puts his shoulder into his chest super hard, and like that's how you can get through him.
cracks his chest.
Yeah.
But like even then, like they knock him 4 feet back, and he's still able to get it. I'm like, this
Because
is
his arms are also 10 feet
Yeah.
long.
yeah.
It's like,
I'm like,
fuck.
like he doesn't even have to be good at math. He would be a good player if he had no skill. Like
Right.
he could just stand
Yeah.
under the rim and be a solid defensive player. But yeah, he's broken basketball. I don't know if I like it yet.
I think it's cool to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to watch for now.
Until he does it to your team.
When there's like 15 or 20, like 7'3" guys that are just dunking and shooting threes, then it's like, okay, kind of loses this luster a little bit.
Soft.
SAWF.
The worst part, like, but the thing is, he's as bad as he's gonna be right now. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna get to a point where he's hitting his, like, if Wemby ever has like a 45% 3-point season, like it's over.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
To be fair, though, I think that is the reason the NBA is like the NBA is dying right now. Like viewership's going down, all that stuff, and I think it's because that's all people are doing. It's like even Wemby, fucking, I don't know, everybody is coming down the court and just jacking up threes, and it's just like,
Baseball just needs to make a couple rule changes, and he might be back in the conversation.
I mean, sure.
Well, the NFL is looking to change. There's rumor they're looking at the onside kick change again, where they go for it on 4th and 20 and
Something, man. You gotta
keep
you gotta
possession.
do something. You can't like. But even then, like it's coming. The getting rid of the surprise side kick is a mistake.
Yeah, it was silly.
It's a mistake. I don't know.
It's only
Yeah,
8% successful or something like that. It's like
It wasn't really successful.
Well, you see
before.
why you
right. Well,
can't-
that's what I'm saying. I think like overall onside kicks are like around
Oh,
8%
yeah.
The
successful. So it's like,
problem
is it
is-
really hurting that?
Well, the
if they
problem
tell
is you
you're
can't
going to?
do it with the new setup. Like you just
Yeah.
cannot do an onside kick
Mhm.
from that formation. So, like, I get why, but I don't know.
I hate it.
Yeah,
Stupid rule.
I gave it a
changes.
year.
I do like the onside kick.
Thought
Like, I do
about it.
like the kickoff
It's okay.
because there's more kick returns. Like, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that, but I don't like that you can't do the onside kick.
Landed in the landing zone and then landed in the end zone and
Yeah,
then the touch. It's
actually, NFL, can you please stop changing rules? Because I'm sick and tired of having to explain these things to my wife. That's really the one reason is that I explain things and then the next year she's like, wait, what is this? Why is there a penalty? And I'm like, well, it didn't land in the landing zone. She's like, what's a landing zone? And I'm like, God damn it.
It's football in general. I remember the first time when the NCAA, when I saw somebody fair catch a kickoff on the
Yeah.
5-yard line, I was like, are you stupid? Like, what are you doing?
But then it went to the
That's one. I'm
yeah.
like, ha!
Since when?
I had to
Yeah.
rewind it and be like, was that just a really short kick and my
Yeah.
eyes deceived me?
Yeah. And then that's the thing. I probably had to explain this multiple times is the hash marks. Why are the hash marks so much wide? Well, first of all, what is a hash mark is
Yeah.
really the whole thing. But then why are they wider in college? So wait, if they get tackled outside of it, the ball goes to that. And I'm like, yes. And she was like,
I still don't understand why they're that wide in college. Why are we making these kickers have to attempt kicks like that?
I don't know. They had a reason. I think I heard Pat McAfee say why, and I can't remember. But he said that it's not needed anymore. I forget what it was.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we can wrap it up.
No Willie there.
Balloonerism is coming out January 17th, and I'm
It's
hyped.
Almost Patty's birthday. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. Late birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday. When was your birthday?
6
Sa-
Monday.
Fudge, yeah.
Sandwiched in between the two of you
Monday.
guys. Right
Worst
now.
time to have a birthday, by the way, Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, do you celebrate the weekend before?
I was gonna
when
ask.
it's not your birthday. Do you celebrate?
Because you're kind of
after?
that. Aren't you in a weird spot where like you could celebrate this weekend or next weekend? Or
No,
the
mine's
weekend?
on Friday.
Is it on Friday?
Mine's
Oh,
on
okay.
Friday. We're just going to dinner.
If your
We're going
birthday's
to-
on a Wednesday, do you celebrate it before or after?
I think like it just whenever people are free, is
okay.
really what it is. Like that night we might do dinner somewhere, just my wife and I. But if we're gonna do like a group thing, then we'll be like, hey, when are y'all free?
Cool. Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
There you go.
Hit the button.
Pick my things and I'm not gonna find it again. What happened? Oh, you lowered me, you bastard. Yeet.
You
mean,
can't
it's-
mute me.
I'm Batman.
Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Whether
Hey,
you-
go watch our interview on
Yeah.
Wave Watch
Yeah.
at Be in the Know. Bye.
Bye.